Think we're getting started. All right. And we are live. Good morning and good afternoon and happy Halloween. Today we have a fun stream today. We'll be doing a preview and prediction in Week 8 NFL football. The Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals. Today is going to be a fun one. I'm so excited. A Saturday stream. I actually have work off today. Happy Halloween. Everyone have a happy and safe and jolly. It's not Christmas yet, but everyone have a happy and safe weekend. Party hard, but recover harder. So have a lot of fun this weekend, but be safe. Because safety is number one. I have a lot of information coming in today's stream. I have a really good prediction. I have player predictions. I have offense and defense predictions and a couple of stats I want to go ahead and review for today's or for tomorrow's game. So I am very, very excited. How was my day, Krause? My day's been great, man. I usually work every Saturday, so I can't stream. I got off today. Today's Halloween. I'm going to go pass out some candy later on. And it's a great day. It's a great day. What's up, Stuart? WHODEY? What's up, Luke? What's up, Drake? WHODEY? What's up, Creek? Thank you for joining the stream. I'm going to get going here live on Snapchat real quick. And then I'm going to post on Snapchat and then get on the Facebook as well. So give me 1 second. We'll hop into today's stream. Guys, I am live right now on YouTube and Facebook. Come say WHODEY and happy Halloween. All right, so let me get this posted up real quick, guys, and we'll get into things. I know we have some college football going on, so people are going to be in and out watching college football. Totally fine. If you want to update the chat, you can totally do that as well. I'm just going to get posted on my socials real quick. Just saying, if you haven't already, follow me on all my socials, please. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Follow me on all my socials. Also, hit the notification bell. You'll be the first to know when I go live because I've been going a lot more live recently. So if you want to be the first to know and any background information, if you want to contact me in any way or form, those are the best socials to add me on. So make sure to spam up those happy Halloween WHODEYs, and hopefully that can bring us some good luck tomorrow. All right. So let me get going here live on Facebook, and we'll hop into things, guys. How's that sound? If you guys have any topics, any injury reports, anything you guys want to hit on, let me know, and we will go over that today. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm going to get live here on Facebook, and we're going to get into it. If you're on Facebook, add me on my Facebook, and then add WHODEY Nation. It's a group chat with 10,600 members of just Bengals fans. I go live on there. I have a Facebook page I go live on, and then obviously I go live on YouTube as well. So anybody got plans for today? Watching college football? Anybody going trick-or-treating? Passing out candy? Any Halloween parties? What's everyone's plans today? Anybody got some fun stuff they're doing this weekend? Hanging out with the family? I'm not sure why this. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. So there we go. Add the queue. Start watch party. Boom! There we go. All right, guys. Oh, sorry for that guy. So let's get into it. So I guess we'll start with the injury report. Live chat not working? Gotcha. Thanks for the update. Let's get that working. It's been doing this the past couple times. I just have to update it. I always forgot. Or I always forget. Come on, chat box. There we go. Chat box is working. It's always a good day on a Saturday. Okay, so let's see what we got going in the chat. What's up, LT? Hope the Bengals win in the Buckeyes tonight. Oh, we got some Buckeyes fans. Okay. I have a few stats that I think are vital to bring up when I call in, okay? Cats, BBN. We got some Big Blue Nation fans in here. Buckeyes and Bengals. First down, Kentucky. I want to talk a little bit about our run game and how Mustache is going to do tomorrow. Okay. Live chat not working. Got that fixed. I'm going to do a state cross country meet today. Hey, good luck, man. Best of luck. Watching Kentucky right now. Okay. Always a big trick-or-treat in my neighborhood. People come from all over town. Awesome. Love to hear it. I'm watching the Michigan game. My dad wants Michigan to win and make it to the championship. And we're going to beat them real hard. Buckeyes. Okay. Yeah, I got Michigan State on right now. I can't find the Kentucky game. I was going to find the Kentucky game and watch that while I stream, but for some reason I'm not finding it here. But yeah, so I guess we'll start with the injury report if that sounds good to you guys. So I know first and foremost, Joe Mixon will be out for tomorrow's game, if you know that or not already. Unfortunately, we'll be down Joe Mixon for the second straight week. We got a bye week after this, so then we have the Steelers, so I'm assuming sit him this week. He has all next week to rest up, and then the Steelers the week after. So, honestly, I don't hate this move. If it's the best move for him to stay healthy and 110%, I don't really care. Let's do it. Let's get him healthy and ready for the rest of the season. So, that means Giovanni Bernard, the mustache man, will be starting. The Bengals veteran. So we're super excited. He had a pretty good week last week. Didn't do too much on the rushing game. But receiving game, he had a touchdown, the big time, should be winning touchdown. And then he did really well in pass protection. I'm going to get into that here in a minute. So getting into the injury report, looks like Joe Mixon declared out. Darius Phillips questionable. That's not good. I know Darius Phillips had an up and down year so far, but we're getting so slim at that corner position. We need anybody we can possibly get at this point. Trey Waynes is out for the season. William Jackson's dealt with some injuries this year. And now Darius Phillips is questionable. Hopefully he's good. But my main point for this stream is... Oh, I didn't see you, Isaac. I just said, I'm going tomorrow. First game day in the jungle. Been to the Brown Stadium twice, but never Paul Brown Stadium. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome, Isaac. That's going to be so cool. Best of luck. It should be a lot of fun for you tomorrow. Anyway, so 3 starting offensive linemen are going to be sitting out. Jonah Williams, starting left tackle, Trey Hopkins, concussion, and Bobby Hart, knee. So this brings up the point, the guy we just got, from the Seahawks, the backup center, I can't think of his name, and then Quentin Spain. Are these guys going to play? If I had to assume when guys come in and they get traded for or they come in off of free agency, they usually don't play right away. But at this point, we are down so many guys and continuously get guys hurt on the offensive line, and our offensive line's already not great to start with. These guys might get some play time this week. If it's not starting, they might be on the bench, but if a guy goes down or a guy's not playing good, these guys might get thrown into some early action football already, so we'll have to see. I mean, the best thing for the guys would be they don't play this week, they get a bye week, and then the following week they start against the Steelers, just like the Joe Mixon thing. So that's probably would be our best situation, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, that's, I think, 7th round pick, Akeem Adeniji, our left tackle out of the University of Kansas we drafted. I'm pretty sure he will probably be getting the start. So we saw a little bit of him last week. We'll have to see what he can do. And, man, he's a rookie. I know he's a late round draft pick, but if he can come up and step up and prove himself, that'd be very exciting and promising. Billy Price will get another chance, if I had to assume, and then probably Fred Johnson as well. So we'll have to see how all these guys fare on that starting offensive line. So, yeah, B.J. Finney and Quentin Spain, it's a big question mark for these guys. I know the COVID-19 restrictions, they probably won't be able to play. That was myself liking the stream, but they most likely won't be able to play, but we'll have to find out. I mean, if guys go down and get hurt, we're not going to really have a choice. And then let's get into the Titans injury, and then we'll get into my preview and prediction. I'm not sure if the Titans are down anybody big. If you guys are in here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join the DCTV family if you haven't already. The goal is road to 2K. We're about 80 subscribers away from 1,500, so halfway to 2,000. So let's make that happen. For the Titans injury report, the Titans will be down 2 defensive backs, Dane Krusink and Christian Fulton. Looks like they did not practice on Friday, and one of them didn't practice the entire week. Ty Smith, Daniel Minor are questionable, and defensive end Javania Clowney has returned to practice Friday, as well as Jonathan Joseph and A.J. Brown. So probably those are the most 3 important guys they need, and they all 3 practiced Friday. So if you're a Titans fan, that's really good news. So now we're done with all the injuries. I'm going to go ahead and dive into my first player predictions, I guess we'll get into. Actually, I'll do team predictions first. So let's start with that. What do you guys? We might have to put Sean Williams at corner. I met Sean Williams. He's a really cool guy. But, yeah, I don't know. We have to weigh out our options. SEC Network. Okay. I wish we still had Carlos Dunlap. I think it was a done deal. I think it was time for him to go his separate ways. So I don't. It was time for a new change. I have an idea. We'll definitely shake things up. Help at corner. I'll explain when I call in. Okay. We put backups in the game last week. Will that give them a leg up tomorrow? I know it's still rough. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I'm going to get into, I guess, the defense first, and I'll start with this. The Titans' defensive line are not very good, especially the interior. They, just like the Bengals, they have one of the worst rushing defense groups in the NFL right now. They do have Javania Clowney, but he's been battling injuries, and he's been all right. But that defensive line for the Titans has probably been one of the worst defensive fronts that we have played all season. And it sucks that Mixon is out for this game because he'd probably have a monster performance if he was in. But so getting into that, yeah, I think that's definitely going to hurt and shake some things up. But, I mean, it's a decent defensive front and defensive line. But out of all the competitive defensive fronts, and we played some good defensive teams, this is probably the worst we played yet. So, yeah, okay, he's been out for a few weeks. Okay, so I guess I'll continue with defense. I think a big thing the Bengals have to do defensively, it starts with play calling. If you are around a DC TV, I talk about this all the time, but it's just the truth. It starts with coaching and goes down to the players. Our play calling has to be a lot better than what it's been. We got to be aggressive, and this gets into another point. We got to put Von Bell in the box. We're going to have to contain, probably not stop, the running game, because King Henry is a man among boys when he's out in that field. And I don't expect us to stop him. I do hope that we can contain him. So I think a big reason to do that is when we load the box and throw some Von Bell in there. I feel like there's been some sets that Von Bell probably shouldn't be playing in, like zone coverage. Whereas if they put him where he should be, in the box, I think it will help him a lot. And Michigan State just got a huge run. But anyways, trying to focus on this. Putting Von Bell in the box is going to be huge for the Bengals tomorrow. First and goal, Georgia. Touchdown, Georgia. Okay. So, there you go. Looks like Kentucky's down early. Anyway, so, yeah, I think we could see a lot of Von Bell in the box. My player prediction for one of them is Von Bell getting a big tackle for loss or possibly a sack. We'll have to see. Yes, touchdown Michigan State over Michigan as well. But, yeah, I think we'll have to see what we can do for the Von Bell situation. Now, moving on is containing the run. Carl Lawson. Carlos Dunlap is gone, and I know he hasn't played much, and Carl Lawson has played more than him. But I think Carl Lawson, this will be a revenge week where he can finally feel that this is his defensive front and make some moves. Hopefully, he can get at least one sack and a tackle for loss. I want to see Carl Lawson getting back there. Another thing defensively that would be a shock for me if we could get going is turnovers. The Tennessee Titans has been a really good team that doesn't turn the ball over. The reason they have 5 wins on the season already, they don't turn the ball over. Derrick Henry doesn't turn the ball over, and the quarterback doesn't turn the ball over. That offense just doesn't make mistakes, and that's why they win ball games. Because they don't make mistakes, so they get 7 3-points on the board, and then they just leave it to King Henry to milk the clock the rest of the game and just pray their defense can hold them the lead. So, yeah, we got to try to force the ball, try to get some turnovers. That's not an easy thing to do against this Titans offense, who has been really great this year. But I feel like Tannehill, he's playing better than what he really is. I think Tannehill's a good guy. He's in a good system where he doesn't have to do too much. But I feel like this is a week, guys like that, the Kirk Cousins, the Tannehills, guys that are, average, above average, they have a bad game every now and then. They'll have a good streak, 3, 4, 5 game streak. Boom, a terrible game. So this might be the game where we shake them up a little bit and cause some turnovers. I think I'm calling for a JB3 turnover again this week. If it's a forced fumble, an interception, fumble recovery, whatever it may be, I feel like Jesse Bates is definitely going to get involved. This kind of goes into play calling, but I think our zone coverage calls is going to be really huge. Considering if Darius Phillips and other guys are going to be healthy and ready to play tomorrow, I think it's going to be a huge factor because, let's be quite honest, the play calling hasn't been good so far. So if we're going to continue to maybe turn things around, we'll have to see how the play calling is, if we're doing zone blitzes, if we're just dropping back in coverage, if we are loading the box and playing man, or if we're loading the box and playing zone. I think it's going to be very interesting to watch what kind of defense we run next week, or tomorrow, excuse me. And last but not least, for the defense, Geno Atkins. I think this could be a week. Geno Atkins has progressively played a little bit more. Week by week, he's playing more snaps as he's trying to, he's not 100% healthy, but he's getting there. I think this could be a big week where we see a little bit more of Geno Atkins than we've seen in the past. Don't know if this is true. It's just what I'm hoping. And if he does, it'd be nice to see him get a tackle for loss and, at least get one big tackle on King Henry behind the line of scrimmage. I think that could really hype up our defense. Actually, I'll do one more defense. So our defense, the one thing they have done well is in the first quarter. I feel like in the first quarter, our defense looks pretty good these past few games. And I think 2 or 3 times so far this season, that defense has gone out there on that first drive and has caused a turnover. So it'd be really interesting to see if we can continue to turn the ball over on that first drive for our defense. George Smith, thank you for following on Facebook. Don't forget to hit that like button on Facebook as well. I'd really appreciate it. And comment section. That comment section's there on Facebook for a reason, so get active in it. Bearcats are playing Memphis. Bearcats 50-yard touchdown. There you go. Zach said we need to fire a defensive coordinator. I agree 110%. Hashtag fire Lou. If Justin Jefferson toasted Malcolm Butler, imagine what Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins is going to do. Also made it to stream. WHODEY. What's up, Ooga Booga? It's good seeing you, my man. Yeah, I'm really excited. But hey, man, Justin Jefferson's a beast. Him, T. Higgins, Henry Ruggs. Man, there are so many good rookie receivers this season. It's crazy. Talking about offense. Ooh, I see one more defensive comment. Any thoughts on Alexander? Can he make any plays? Alexander is more of a slot guy. He's a really good tackler corner. He's one of the best tackling corners in the NFL. He doesn't give up big plays usually, but he doesn't make big plays. He's a solid corner that can go in there and, just be reliable. So I think Mackenzie Alexander's not going to go out there and get a pick six or get an interception and all that, be too aggressive. But he's a guy out there that's going to be a good role player and going to be pretty reliable. So I personally like Alexander, and we only signed him to a 1-year deal, so it's going to be interesting to see if we bring him back or not. Let's move to the offense, guys. If there's anything else you want to talk on the defense, get active in that comment section. Let's move on to the offense. So, no turnovers. Like I said, this Titans offense, man, they don't turn the ball over. They don't make mistakes. So we can't make any either. Because if we have a bunch of turnovers and they don't turn the ball over, that is just a key to failure. That's just how you lose ball games. So we have to take care of the ball. It starts with obviously Joe Burrow and our offensive line to see how much time we can give him in the backfield. Sometimes I think he gets a little bit too much pressure and he goes out there and tries to do something that he probably shouldn't be doing and makes a mistake. We've seen that a few times this year, but we'll have to try to see with the offensive protection. Giovanni Bernard, no fumbles. Hopefully he can just do his thing out the backfield. I think a huge key to this no turnovers is his pass protection. Bernard's not probably going to go out there and rush for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. He could, but what Bernard's going to do, he's going to be back there. He's going to have a veteran presence, a captain presence. He's going to be a phenomenal pass blocker. That guy, his mustache is really bigger than his body, but the point is He takes hits. Go back last week and watch how many times he had to step up in front of Joe Burrow and take a huge hit from a linebacker, a defensive end, a safety, a corner, and take a hit so Joe Burrow doesn't have to take one. I mean, the pass protection, I was blown out my shoes by Bernard. He is laying his body on the line to protect Joe Burrow. So that gives me the utmost confidence in Giovanni Bernard. So first off, I think that's going to be a huge help because hopefully that buys a little bit more time for Joe Burrow. And I know we like running 5 out, but when Giovanni Bernard was in that backfield, I did think our offense was better last week just because it bought him more time. I'm worried about Burrow tomorrow. He has to make hard decisions. I don't want to hurt him. Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. I know we're down 3 offensive linemen. Our starting offensive linemen's already not good, but this is probably the worst defensive front we've faced so far this season. So, yes, I would be a little bit worried, but as long as we keep a back in the backfield to help protect and just sit there, maybe not even run routes a lot of time, either gun a little route and get a dump pass or sit there and block for Burrow, I think we'll be all right. We just have to have good design play calls by Zach Taylor to get the ball out of his hands quickly. I hope the Browns lose to the Raiders. Hey, I mean, they definitely have a chance. The Raiders are a good ball team that can make big-time plays. Henry Ruggs is no joke. They don't turn it over because all they do is run with Henry. And, yeah, when they run with Henry, then it opens up, man-on-man coverage with receivers. And, they, Brown and a couple of the receivers, man, Tannehill just either gets some play action or just picks them apart, and they don't turn the ball over. So, Gio is small, but his heart is big. Love that guy. That's well said. You're not lying. What's up, Night Wolves? WHODEY. Is Spain going to play? I would assume that he's going to be active on the bench. I just don't think he'll start because he's literally had no time with the playbook. So I think we'll see him against the Steelers. I want to see them get creative on the screens like last game. Maybe use Ross on screens and kick returns. I think Ross is kind of a lost cause at this point. He doesn't want to be on the team. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious he doesn't like the coaching staff either. So I really don't care if we utilize him or not. I just wish we'd kind of trade him by now. That's my personal opinion. Call it harsh or not. So continuing on the offense, a big one for me, the Michigan just scored. So 7-7 ball game, Michigan State, Michigan. But we got to get points on a lot of drives, and we have to have long drives. This is really important because this is exactly what the Titans do. They have these long drives where they just run, play action, dump pass, run, and they just milk the clock. And because they don't turn the ball over, they have a lot of these long drives. And this is exactly what the Bengals have to try to do. I feel like the Bengals offense, yes, is explosive. Yes, we get 20, 30 points per game. But our drives are so quick, sometimes it's almost too quick, where it hurts ourselves because our defense is unreliable. So I'd like to see some more spaced out offensive drives, no turnovers, first, second down, or first, second, first, second, third, first. And another big thing on this offense, because I want these long drives, third down conversions are going to be huge. Very, very key to a vital good performance for the Bengals. I think we're going to have a really good third down performance. And vice versa for the Titans. They're one of the worst teams on third down conversions in the NFL in 2020. Although they have 5 wins, although they have one of the best running backs in the league, they are one of the worst teams in the NFL on third down conversions. So that flips back to our defense. Our third down defense has to be ready to go. We got to be sitting in the heat, and we got to be good in coverage. I already talked about pass protection. Titans, like I said, we faced a lot of good defensive fronts and defensive lines so far this year. So I know we're down 3 offensive linemen, but pass protection is a huge one. I think it's pretty obvious. I don't want to stay on the topic too long. We're just going to have to see how the Bengals offensive line holds up. The little bit of offense that we do have. The little bit of offense linemen we do have playing. So I'd love to see some weight on the O-line. Dude, Quentin Spain is a big human being. He is a massive human being. Quentin Spain is huge. I think Spain can't play because there's something like a 3-day period where signed players can't participate on the team. Yeah, and I know there's a lot of COVID restrictions. That's why I said don't expect him to be on the field or be able to play until the Pittsburgh game. So, are the Bengals' decisions on trades focusing too much on the offense? Not technically. I just think they're trying to focus towards positions that the Bengals definitely need help in. Obviously, offensive line. And then we'll have to see what we do with the draft picks. I think you have to see what we do with the draft picks. But I don't think necessarily they're like offense. We'll have to see what we get with John Ross. But I wouldn't say that's what they're primarily going for. Yeah, it's probably like a 3 to 5 day protocol. And that's why it took him so long to sign as well. And now, let's get into my player predictions. So, I'm going to go ahead and assume Burrow 250 yards plus and 2 total touchdowns. One could be rushing, one could be throwing. They could both be rushing, they could both be with his arm. But Burrow 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. That's my player prediction for Burrow. I have one for Bernard as well. I have 1 receiving touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown for Bernard. Not too many yards on the ground, but I think, in the red zone, we are probably going to utilize him pretty well, just like we did last week. T. Higgins, I have T. Higgins 75 plus yards and 2 touchdowns. I think we'll see a lot of him in the red zone this week. I don't, their safeties are good, but I don't think their corners are too great, and it sounds like they have a couple of them dealing with some injuries as well, so we'll have to see what T. Higgins can do. I'm going to assume a JB3 turnover, whether it's a forced fumble, an interception, whatever it may be. Hopefully he can grab a turnover because this team, we need to turn them over and get them off. I don't know. They just really haven't been on a struggle bus this season, so we got to get them on one. And then I have 2 total sacks for our defense. Our D line hasn't been great this year. They've been super underwhelming. I predicted them to be a top 10 defensive front in the NFL this year, and boy, was I wrong so far. So hopefully we can get 2 total sacks. I'm going to go ahead and assume one's going to be Carl Lawson. I'd like to see if the other one would be Von Bell. I think Von Bell could get back there and have a safety sack, and I think that would be a huge momentum boost for this Bengals defense. And last but not least, this one, I haven't done a player prediction for him all season long. This is my first one for him all season long, and that's Geno Sackins. I have him getting 2 tackles for loss. So, that's what I have. That's what I have for my player predictions. Let me know in the comment section what your player predictions are. I'm pretty curious. Pretty curious. Oh, I also have to go to Facebook. And on Facebook in that group chat, whoops, I almost forgot. I post a weekly, what is your game day score prediction? So I'm going to go there, and I told everybody on the post that I would be telling their response on my YouTube live stream, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I almost forgot. So we got about 40 comments, so get ready, guys. We got about 40 comments to get through. All right, let's see what we got. Like I said, follow me on my socials. This is where I get all this. So Andrew Smith says 33-24 Titans. Casey Von Drew says easy 37-0 Bengals. And she said I can dream. So wasn't like, oh, what's up, the bright one? Joe Cook says 35-31 Bengals. And that would be a nice shootout. Michael said 31-13 rough defense for us to go against the Titans. So he has the Titans taking that one. Ken Rice says 38-30 Bengals. 38 points. Boy, would that be a big one. Alyssa Smith said 30-27 Bengals. And I was like, that's a good one. Oh, my boy Stuart Monty with the donation. Thank you, my man. Appreciate that. And I told you that webcam is coming soon because of the donations. I'm getting a nice webcam coming very soon. So shout out to Stuart Monty. Let me fix this spot. There we go. And you get your recent donator spot. You lost it for a second, but you got it back. All right, so Let's see. Bob Williams, 28-14 Tennessee. David Smith, 28-24 Titans. Tony Snow, 30-24 Bengals. Paul May, 28-27 Bengals. Aaron Bostic said, we have no run defense. Derrick Henry has 3 touchdowns, 110 yards, 18 attempts, and we'll get the win. So, okay. Go you, Aaron. I like it. Very positive. Errol Martinez says 53 Bengals, Tennessee 3. Okay. Mike Madden said 33-21 Titans. Tim Edmonds said 34-17 Bengals. Chris Stagg said 27-24 Titans. JJ White said, Henry is going to kill us, but I have faith in our offense to get some points. 35-24 Titans. 1-6-1 heading into the bye. David Shepard III said, I'd be shocked if we could hold Henry under 200 yards. Michael Lykin said 41-35 Bengals. Chris Jenkins said 42-24 Tennessee. Phil Admiran, 37-17 Bad Guys. Chad Tilton, 35-31 Bengals. Ron Ross, that's funny, Ron Ross, John Ross. 35-31 Bengals, or 42-17 Titans. Sorry, that's how both teams are playing. And yeah, so that's for all the predictions on Facebook. I didn't think I had any on Instagram, but yeah. So there we go. There's all the predictions. Thank you for everyone on Facebook who participated in that. Really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. The bright one goes, Titans win a close game, 21-17. Ooga Booga says AJ continues his momentum, 70-plus yards and a touchdown. Okay. I think it'll be a big game, 70 points, another shootout. Yeah, I mean, I think this could definitely, both teams could combine for at least 40, 50 points easy. You know, I think 20 to 30 points for both teams is probably pretty realistic, for sure. Bengals win 38-30, says Crosby. I think the line is at 6. Okay. Carl Lawson, 1 or 2 sacks. Burrow will bury 300-plus yards, no problem. Offense line, only 4 sacks tomorrow is my prediction. All right. So, I mean, 4 sacks would probably be a W for that O-line. Like, if we only gave up 4 sacks or less, do we take that as a W? Let me know. If our offense only gives up 4 sacks tomorrow, do you take that as a W? Or would you be upset? Let me know. What's up with Alden Tate? He hasn't been involved at all this year. Man, it's beyond me. I don't know if he's getting outplayed in practice. You know, if he's not working hard, if, we don't like his scheme. I'm not too sure. Beginning of the season, I predicted him to have at least 5 to 8 touchdowns. I don't even think he has 5 to 8 receptions so far. So, you got me beat on that one. Can we talk about Logan Wilson real quick? Yeah, we can. Logan Wilson is the future for that Bengals linebacking crew. Logan Wilson's really great. Look at my player predictions. Okay, I didn't see it. Burrow, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bernard, 100-plus receiving yards and rushing yards, 1 touchdown. Defense, 1 pick. A.J. Green, another 50-plus receiving yards. T. Higgins, 80-plus yard game and 1 touchdown. Jesse Bates, 1 pick. That's pretty similar to mine. I don't have Bernard getting 100 total yards, but I have him getting 1 rushing and or 1 receiving touchdown. I have Burrow 250, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. I have a T. Higgins 75-yard performance and probably 2 TDs. A JB 3 turnover, 2 sacks total for the defense. Hopefully one of them is going to be Carl Lawson. I think the other one might be Von Bell. And then Geno 2 tackle for losses are mine. Memphis got a 92-yard touchdown. That's crazy. Yeah, Logan Wilson's the guy. Logan Wilson is the guy. Has Alden Tate been returning kickoffs? I haven't seen him. I thought it was Wilson. I haven't seen him at all back there. So, interesting. Drake, if you want to call in, I can get you on the Discord, bud. Guys, if you're still in here, leave a like. We've been live for over 30 minutes. Leave a like on the stream if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. Facebook or YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, don't be shy. Get active as well. I'm going to have you call in via Discord this time, Drake. Not my phone. I've never done this before, but... I'm calling you, Drake. You here?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. You got the floor. So, guys, we got Drake Berry. He's going to give us his predictions for the game tomorrow.
All right, so first thing, there's going to be two things I want to bring up. Is that the Titans defense has forced 9 interceptions so far this year. And 7 fumbles, and they were able to recover 3 of them. So what it seems like is that when they don't get to the quarterback, which they're not doing much, as they only have 7 sacks, but they also have 27 tackles for a loss. So it seems like that they're really excelling when it comes to actually forcing turnovers, which is going to be huge for us to just play smarter football. Don't try and do too much, which Burrow's been doing an amazing job with.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're having a much more balanced attack this year than they were last year. As well. Okay, and then so I'm moving on. So one thing that I was thinking that could possibly work, because I was doing a little bit of research on Ross, like just trying to figure out like who all he is and all that. And it turns out he played a little bit of corner in high school. So one thing I'm wondering is, in practice or over to might we give him a shot at corner, see how he does?
That's if he's on the team still.
Yeah, because with his speed, he won't be getting beat very often. He's already a wideout, so he understands the route tree.
And I'm gonna be quite honest. If we trade him, I wouldn't be surprised if a team tries something like that. I'm gonna be honest. I think teams get creative with him.
Yep, that or even like Igubigo was saying, try him out on screenplays, try him out on wide receiver handoffs. Yeah,
kind of like what the Bears have been doing with Cordell Patterson. You know, he's not really a running back. He's really a set return man and a receiver, but they know he has quick acceleration and speed, so they put him back there sometimes to take some handoffs and some pitches. So, I mean, it hasn't worked out too much for him this year, I don't think, but it's pretty interesting, and it keeps the play calling, unique. So we'll have to see what happens with the John Ross situation. Personally, I think he will be traded, but if he does stay on the team, Bengals should do something. I mean, they got to open up some type of options.
Yeah, and I was reading an article I sent you through Discord where it was showing that he wants to play.
No, yeah, I saw that on Twitter. Yeah, he wants to play, but he already said that he doesn't like. Basically, he said he doesn't like coaching. So that was his tweet. It was like how they said that he doesn't like football, and his response was, "Well, football is not what I like." And it's like, so he's basically talking about the coaching staff. So I don't know how you keep a guy on the team that talks shit about the coaching staff.
Right. See,
and I've been seeing a lot of shit on Twitter. I just don't understand. Yeah, guys are here protecting John Ross like he's actually done something for the Bengals. And it's like, yeah, I get you want to, stand up for some players, but you can't. The guy's talking shit about the coaching staff. How can I support him? And I kind of got into an argument with somebody on Twitter. It was all right. Like, it was a friendly argument. But I just don't understand how you can protect a guy who hasn't produced. If he has produced in his past and he's upset with coaching staff, okay, I could be on his side. But I'm not going to side with him when he hasn't done jack squat with the Bengals in his whole career so far.
Exactly. It's not like he's a Mixon or a Boyd.
And I don't even want to hear that because I've seen some people said, well, he hasn't got opportunities. Sure he has. He had a starting spot in the beginning of the year, and T. Higgins took it from him.
Yeah, all right, let's talk about the rise of T. Higgins. It's been nuts.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, all right, so T. Higgins, like, here I was coming thinking, all right, he'll come through to being like our number 4 receiver behind Green, Boyd, and Ross. And man, it was like week 3 Ross was put on the injured list, or was that week 4?
Yeah, it was one of those weeks, but like I'm tired of people saying he's never got chances. Yeah. He's got way more than enough chances. He was he had a starting spot this season, and a rookie took it from him. and he's had chances the other years when he wasn't hurt. You can't blame the Bengals because he's been injury prone, and you can't blame the Bengals that he hasn't produced. I'm tired of seeing it. Don't be a Bengals fan if you're just going to talk shit about the front office. Yes, I understand they are frustrating. They've been frustrating for a long time. But if the player has not had any production at all, stop freaking. I want to say a word and it's inappropriate. I'm not going to say it. But stop. Just stop. Just stop. It's so frustrating. Exactly. It's so frustrating.
I mean, I'm telling you, T has taken that wide receiver 3 spot and has not looked back.
Oh, exactly. And then, yeah, exactly.
Now also look at that Mike Thomas we signed as well.
Yeah, and Mike Thomas, who's a guy who came out of nowhere, who went up and took his spot too. And then Auden Tate has taken his spot in the spot after that. So I don't want to hear that he doesn't, he's had chances, and every time he gets a spot taken. So
exactly. And honestly, I'm starting to get kind of the same way with Auden Tate as well. Like, yes, he hasn't had as many chances as Frost, but if you look, Green's playing better, Boyd's playing better, Higgins is playing better. Mike Thomas, who was a nobody before this year, is playing better than he is. And
the reason why I'm not going to say on Auden Tate, though, because he hasn't came out publicly and made statements about the Bengals, when John Ross has.
Yeah.
Man.
Right, so I'll go and get into my predictions.
Get into your predictions. You got me fired up.
I'm sorry about that. All right, so I'll go and start with my score. With my team predictions. So I'm going to go and say that the Titans are going to have a good run game. So I think they're going to go for 100, 110, 120.
They are going to go for 110, 120 rushing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's a pretty easy prediction. Yeah, they're probably going to have a successful day at the running game. It'd be pretty surprising if they don't.
with two rushing touchdowns.
Okay.
But I think because us having those 3 missing offensive linemen scare me, so I think that they're going to end up getting a good number of pressures. I'm going to say they're going to have 5 to 10 pressures on the game.
Okay.
And now I'm going to move over to us. I'm going to just do player predictions first. I think we're going to go with Von Bell. I think he's going to have a good game. 5 tackles. And then JB3, once again, playing like he always playing out of his mind like he has been all year.
Okay. Yeah,
he's on go.
Crazy.
7 tackles and two deflected passes.
Okay.
And then T. Higgins.
Let's hear
is
it.
going to go up with 50-plus passing yards.
Okay.
Not passing, receiving yards. Mm-hmm. With a touchdown. Boyd's going to go out with 75 to 100 with 2 receiving touchdowns, and then Burrow's going to have a total of, and then Burrow's going to have another 300-plus yard game to take the record from Andrew Luck.
Oh, yeah. I saw that record's on the line.
And then, like you're saying, I'm not expecting too much in the rush game unless we get, what's the dude's name? He's from Oklahoma. It's not Travion. It's
Is it P-Ron?
Yeah, P-Ron guy. I think he's going to be used mainly in goal line sets.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I have 3 keys for us to win.
Go ahead.
All right, so first one is 11 guys to the ball on defense.
Okay.
Safety's playing downhill.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go and say we gotta be smart with the play action, play calling, and then keeping someone in the backfield with Burrow.
Agreed.
Now, I think if all those things occur, I think we'll be just fine.
All right. So, what is your score prediction? I don't think you gave your score prediction.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go 37-30 Bengals.
I'm
going to talk about the fact that we put 30-plus up on teams like the Browns.
Yeah.
That have Browns and Colts have a lot better Ds than the Titans do.
Okay, well, you guys heard it here first.
I can also see ADG having a big game.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they utilize him. If we go heavy box, send some pressure, he might be utilized a good amount.
Yeah, and once again, calling it now for the future. We have four top 10 players in their respective positions in the future on this team.
Go ahead.
Jesse Bates, Logan Wilson, Joe Burrow, and T. Higgins.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
And once again, fire Lou.
That's 110% right. Hashtag fire Lou until it's backwards. All right, man. I appreciate you coming to the stream and give your prediction like always, man.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah, WHODEY. You heard it there first. That's Drake. Drake came on, gave his prediction. So, man, 37-30. Oh, that would be such a crazy game. That would be such a crazy game if that happened. Anyways, let's see what you guys, let me get updated on the comment section. So what are we saying? Imagine John Ross trying to tackle King Henry. Yeah, that would be not very good. Only thing John Ross did was drop passes. All he did was run fast. T is a monster. That's true. No lie detected. Don't forget about Mike Thomas being out. Is Mike Thomas out? I didn't see that. I'll say it for you, Drew. Yeah. Who's better, Andy Dalton or Joe Burrow? Hop off day. Yes, Hunter. Thank you for saying that. I didn't want to say it because I don't want to get dirty on the stream. But exactly what Hunter said, hop off the... That's what I wanted to say. I saw so many people on Twitter that are Bengals fans that it's like, dude, he has done absolutely nothing for Cincinnati. And he's over here talking shit about the coach, the coaching staff. Why are you on his side? I don't get it. He's done absolutely zero for the Bengals. I don't get it, man. I'm sorry I value winning than the name on the back of his jersey. I'm sorry. But as a Bengals fan, I haven't seen much success in winning in my entire life. So I would value wins over John Ross. I'm sorry. It is what it is, though. I want to see wins. If it's with or without John Ross. Sorry. BRB going to the gas station. All right, Krause, you're good. The first game, I don't feel confident. There's been so much drama, and Titans are rolling right now. I was more confident in beating the Ravens. I don't know about that. I was pretty set on that we were going to get smoked by the Ravens. But I don't know. This one's going to be interesting. I have a decent amount of confidence for sure, but we'll have to see. That might I feel like as a Bengals fan lately, I'm very confident for a second quarter because we're probably winning, and then halftime comes around. Our defensive coordinator is not in the entire universe, not to be seen, calls bad plays, and then we blow games. So I feel like I've been confident early on in the games. Guess I know what a Falcons fan feels like. Cincinnati football goes up 14-7 over Memphis. On a 1 to 10 number, what would you rate Andy? I mean, his career as a Bengal, probably like a solid 6.5. Yeah, 6.5, 7. Joe Burrow's a 10 for sure. Wow, didn't expect that call from Drake on the points. I mean, dropping the stream a little. Yeah, it's all right. I'm back. What's up, Krause? Phone is about to die. I'll be back in about 30 minutes. You're good, my man. My man Freddie on Facebook said, I think it's the player when it comes to Ross. Marvin and coaches wasn't high on him either. 2 sets of different staffs benched him. And Freddie, I mean, you said it. I completely agree with you, Freddie. I'm tired of hearing, why is every other player on the team, ever since we got rid of Carlos Dunlap, bought into the system, but John Ross isn't, and for some reason I should take John Ross's side? Hell no. He has not performed. He's had so many chances, and he's had so many chances. He had a chance this season. This beginning of the year, he was a starting 2 or 3. He was a starting 3 receiver, and T. Higgins took his spot. Mike Thomas took his spot. I don't want to hear it no more. I'm over it. I'm completely over it. I don't want to hear put him in the return game, put him in this, put him in that. I'm done. Like, he obviously can't do anything for the Bengals. I don't know why he's not in the return game. I thought when we drafted him, I think he should be. I thought we were getting the future next Cordell Patterson, the next big return man in the NFL, and boy, was I wrong. Can Zach keep the team together tomorrow in a tough spot? And I would say that's probably a big part of the game plan is just trying to keep the team chemistry together. We saw what just one player can do to the locker room in Carlos Dunlap as he was trying to destroy the locker room. What if the same thing happens with John Ross tomorrow? Like, no promises. So, yeah, I think that's going to be a big game plan. Can we keep team chemistry good? Win or loss tomorrow, can we keep the locker room together after the game? Luke said Marvin Lewis at D coordinator. Probably not. I just don't see him coming back. I got Bernard in fantasy. Oh, so you got Bernard in fantasy? Nice. Any chance Mike Zimmer would come back as a DC? I know Mike Zimmer still lives here. His house is about 10 minutes from mine. I just don't see him taking a step back as a DC. Not many guys go to a head coach position and then eventually go back to a lower position. Would I be up for it? Hell yeah. If Mike Zimmer would come back and take it, I'm okay with that all day. Do I think it would happen? Probably not. Yeah, and like Dylan said, I thought he was going to be the next Devin Hester 2.0. I think many Bengals fans did. And the one thing I won't blame John Ross about is where he got drafted. You can't blame him for the Bengals picking John Ross, okay? So I'm not going to sit here and blame John Ross for being on the Bengals. He's on the Bengals because the Bengals front office thought it was a good idea to pick him, and boy, were they wrong. So I'm not going to sit here and blame John Ross on that aspect, but I'm not going to sit here and, be on his side because it's the Bengals front office is unfair and won't play him. Hell no, dude. He's had so many chances and he struck out every single time. I don't want to hear it. Bad hands in the return game equals turnovers to close to the goal line. Can't do it. Well said. I have a bad feeling that Derrick Henry is going to crush our defense in the second half. We'll have to see how the game goes on if we take the lead or not, because something the Bengals have done this year is get the lead. These past few weeks, we've had the lead, 21, 14, 10 points. We get the lead, and if we get the lead, it's going to be a huge key to success. Because when you get a lead on a team, that forces a team to have to throw. Look what we did to the Browns. We did it perfectly. We just didn't execute. We got the lead on the Browns. They couldn't utilize Kareem Hunt as much. So what they had to do? They had to force Baker Mayfield to throw the ball. And before that game, I said my prediction and preview is to win this game, we have to put the game in Baker Mayfield's hand. Now, he won them the game because our defensive coordinator is the worst in the NFL. But nonetheless, we did a good job of that. We knew Kareem Hunt was going to average 5 yards plus a carry. So if we get the lead, they don't have time to run the ball. They are forced to throw it. If we can do this with the Titans, our chance of winning the game is going to be a lot much greater than what it is if they have the lead. So yes, I also agree to that. I think getting the lead is going to be huge in this game. If we can force them to have to throw the ball at Ryan Tannehill, who, no disrespect to Ryan Tannehill. He's been a great player this year, only like 3 picks or 2 picks and like a bunch of touchdowns. He's been great. But I would rather Ryan Tannehill beat us than Derrick Henry running it down our throat, personally. One thing you need to look at, Dunlap had a lot more weight in the locker room than Ross does, and it's not even close. That's true. I agree with that. Can you make predictions about Spain joining the team and his attitude for the health for O-line? Yeah. You said, I know there's a lot of unknowns. Yeah, I mean, it's true. There are a lot of unknowns for Spain. The couple things I do know, he didn't get cut because of his talent. He wasn't cut because he was incapable of being a starter in the NFL. Matter of fact, he was a starter in the NFL. He just had issues with the Bills front office, chemistry-wise, and I think they wanted to cut him for salary cap restrictions. So I know that we're getting a player that is talented, an older guy, I think 29 years old, so he's going to be able to bring a veteran presence to this very young offense. This offense, besides Giovanni Bernard, is very young, and A.J. Green, besides them, it is so young. So we're going to get a veteran presence guy who can come in. He's a big boy, Pancake City. He's a very huge human being, so hopefully he has a lot of strength and can get guys pushing down the field. I feel like, that game with Mixon when he had 3 touchdowns, the reason why our rushing game was perfectly utilized was because our offensive line was pushing forward. So many times that I see our O-line moving vertical, I was like, holy crap, I didn't know these guys were capable of it. And, when you have big guys like him, you're going to be able to do that downfield. I've seen him make plays. I watched his highlights. He'd block the lineman and then move up to the linebackers, pancake corners, safeties. So I think we're getting a guy who loves football, and hopefully he can come in and be a leader on that offensive line. I'm really stoked to see him and how he's going to perform. I'm going to assume his first game is going to be against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Which, boy, you talk about a first. I know I talked about this in the last stream, but you talk about a game debut on a new team for the Bengals, and your game day debuts against the Steelers. 1, they have a hell of a defensive front, but 2, we know how dirty and chippy they are against the Bengals. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much more of a harder and nastier matchup than the Bengals versus Steelers game. So, I mean, you're going to have him starting his first game against Steelers. Possibly B.J. Finley, we'll have to see, or Finney if he starts. And, if we get anybody else from John Ross or anybody else, we'll have to see. But, yeah, man, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I mean, what a hell of a debut. Do you think Joe will get an MVP before his career's done? Easy. He'll easily be a top 5 quarterback by the time he's 25, 26 years old. And MVP, he will definitely be in a couple MVP races for sure. But I think Justin Herbert will be too. I think Justin Herbert's a hell of a player. I think he will be in the talks too eventually. Right? That's what makes the pick so much worse. We miss on so many picks, it's not even funny. Yeah. And so I don't blame Ross on him, being chose so early in the draft by the Bengals. That is the Bengals' fault. But I'm not going to stick up here and, I'm done with the topic. I'm going to move on. But yeah, I blame that on the Bengals, not John Ross. Do you think we need to work more on our offense or defense this season and the upcoming season? Well, I mean, that's a good question. Well, I think offensively, the only thing we have to go out and do in free agency is sign an offensive lineman and consider what we do at AJ Green. I think it depends what we do at AJ Green. If we bring him back or if we let him walk, we'll probably have to draft another receiver or sign a veteran or something. I think if we keep AJ, I think definitely defensively. But I know we have to sign an offensive lineman. We got to see what happens with AJ. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we got to do something with the defense. I'm assuming the defensive line, you can usually get away with drafting guys on the D-line. So to assume that. I think we got to get, Josh Bynes, if we bring him back or not. If we don't bring him back, we got to either draft somebody or bring in a veteran presence. I think it'd be really cool to having a veteran linebacker. And then I think our safety spot's good. So I don't know. I don't think we have to do much. We get Trey Waynes back. I think we need to address the corner spot as well, either bring in a veteran corner or, go draft somebody. But I think our number one priority is signing or trading for a stud offensive lineman. And once that is done, we can see what happens. I think that's more important than signing AJ Green back. You want my personal opinion? I would rather have a top 10, top 15 lineman at that position. So if it's like left guard, he's top 15 left guard. Right guard, he'd be top 10, top 15 right guard. Whatever it may be, I would rather have, an above average to stud offensive lineman free agency pickup than re-signing AJ Green at this point. Just because AJ Green can't protect Burrow. But not saying that I want to, not saying that I don't want AJ to return. I just want to see Joe Burrow actually play his career out in Cincinnati. Happy Halloween, Zach. Don't forget to get that Happy Halloween in the comment section as well, guys. Hell yeah. Have a safe and fun weekend. Random prediction, Spain playing doesn't give up a sack to the Steelers. Are the Steelers going to try to hurt Joe Burrow? I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to go target him, but if they get a chance to hit him instead of just pushing him, for sure. They're going to do anything to get the quarterback on the turf. after our next 2 games, I think we need to win the next games. What do you think of the rest of our schedule? Yes, Krause, this is a solid point. Outside of this Steelers game, so we've got to play the Steelers twice. We got to play the Steelers twice and the Ravens once. Outside of those divisional games, it's a cakewalk. Because we play the NFC least. That's why I still think we're still capable of getting 5 wins. Look, we play the Titans. Why did I say Titans? We play the Titans. We got a break. Then we get the Steelers. Okay? Then we have the Washington football team, the Giants, the Dolphins, the Cowboys, and then the Steelers, and then the Texans, and the Ravens. So outside of the Steelers, Ravens, outside of the 2 Steelers and Ravens game, this is our schedule. Washington, Giants, Dolphins, Cowboys, and Texans. It doesn't get easier than that. Those teams are terrible. Those teams are bad. I'm not saying we're better. I'm just saying we are still capable of getting 5 wins. Still. And I'm going to play the bad guy, but we might not win a division game this year. We got swept by the Browns. That should never happen. You should never get swept by the Browns. Never. So, we got swept by the Browns, and we got beat by the Ravens. So, we play the Steelers twice and the Ravens once. If we don't win out of those 3 games, we might go winless in our division. But even going winless in the division, we can still get 5-6 wins. We are still capable of getting 5 wins, even with not winning a single game in the division. Has that ever happened before? I don't know. Not winning a single game in the division, what is the best record a team has ever had? Because we might get it this season at 5-6 wins. Washington football team, the Giants, the Dolphins, the Cowgirls, and the Texans. That's a cakewalk. So yeah. That's why in the beginning of the season when I was making YouTube videos and not live streams and I was giving my, predictions, I said, at best, we'd probably get 10 wins. At worst, 5. Because I saw our schedule and I was like, okay, Washington, Giants, Dolphins, Texans, Eagles. Okay, well, that's, Jaguars. That's, 6, 7, 8 games that we can at least compete in. And I was like, we win, 75% of those. That's 5 wins at least. So, yeah, our playlist outside of our our schedule outside of our division, man, it's a cakewalk. And that's why we're still capable of getting 5-6 wins on the season easy. I know you don't like comparisons, but I could see Jonah being an Andrew Whitworth 2.0 and Logan Wilson being a Sean Lee caliber. You're right. I don't like predictions, but if Jonah Williams would be half the player Andrew Whitworth is, then we would have an all-time left tackle, even being half the player of him. Wow, Clemson's getting beat by Boston College 21-7. Oh, that's right. I don't think what's-his-face is playing. So that makes sense, actually. That makes sense. Okay. Titans 27-10 Bengals. Bengals fan, by the way. It's all right, Cray-Pup. A little bit of realism. It is what it is. Do you have an updated record prediction? Well, I'd say I'd hope we'd at least get 5 wins. I think this schedule, you're very capable of getting 5 wins. And, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose games. I really, really don't. So I think even with the schedule, you're capable of getting 5-6 wins. And, let's say we beat the Titans, so we got 2 wins. We beat the Washington, so that's 3 wins. We beat the Giants, that's 4 wins. We beat the Dolphins, that's 5 wins. We beat the Cowgirls, that's 6 wins. We beat the Texans, that's 7 wins. So if we can beat the Titans and we play, that's why it's so hard to say, it's hard getting to playoff. Yeah, I know it's easy to sit here and count wins and numbers on your, numbers for your fingers, but look at the schedule, man. Why do you think our division is so good? Because the division is playing these same teams that we are, and they're destroying them. The Steelers, Browns, and Ravens, they're playing the Dolphins, the Giants, the Cowgirls, the Texans, the Washington football team. So that's why they have a lot of wins. We're playing bad teams outside of the division. So, and in my prediction video in the beginning of the year, that's why I said it's so very important to at least split in your division. Those early games into the season that are division games are so important. At least to split. That's why you can't get swept by the Browns. That's why you have to at least split with them. And that's why in the early games of the year, and the division games are so important, because now you look, November, December, and you count these games, you're like, I don't think we're going to get in. And when you have a good division like we do, you're not. So that's why those divisional games are crucial, man, especially early in the season, because they come back to haunt you. I say we beat Washington, Dallas, Dolphins, Giants, and Texans. And, man, I mean, even if we don't make the playoffs, but we go out in the season with a little bit of a winning record, I mean, wouldn't that boost some confidence for 2021? If Joe Burrow can, scrape together 5-6 wins at the end of the season, I mean, that would boost the confidence for this Bengals going into 2021 for sure. So I think best case scenario, let's say we don't make the playoffs, but let's say we get 5, 6, 7 wins. Boy, does that really boost the confidence heading into 2021? So I have a little feeling that we can beat the Ravens. I mean, nothing showed me so far that we can beat the Ravens. Obviously, I want to beat the Ravens, but the Bengals haven't showed me that they can beat the Ravens. My best case scenario, I think maybe split, so maybe we do beat them, but yeah, I know it's going to be hard. Their offense hasn't, to me, been showing that they are good so far. I hope we can beat the Steelers too. Man, if we can at least split with the Steelers, I want to win the Christmas game. So we played, well, I guess it's not the Christmas game. So 12:24, we played the Steelers. Sunday Night Football, 8:15 p.m. in Paul Brown Stadium. If we can win that one but lose this one, I know, settling for a loss is never the answer, but that's just how it is as a Bengals fan. But, man, if we could split and win that 12-21 game, boy, would that be fun. And then we had the Texans 2 days after Christmas. December 27th, we play the Texans. That's going to be a fun stream as well. I know it's a tough topic, but is Zach able to push Lou at all? How often do coaches turn it around? I think, when it comes to pushing him to do better, I think that's all on Lou. I don't think Zach Taylor can do anything. Zach Taylor is an all-offensive guy. I know he's the head coach, but, I mean, he's doing his thing on the offense. I think when it comes to defense, I have no confidence in our defensive coordinator, Lou, right now. So I'm going to be quite honest. I'm just at rock bottom with confidence for him. I just don't think he's the guy. He hasn't shown me that he can be the guy. So I think best case scenario, we fire him in the offseason. Unless he turns it around this season. Because I don't know. I mean, let's stay on the topic. Let's say we do grind out 5, 6, 7 wins. That might be enough for Zach Taylor to say, hey, man, we'll give you another year. So, I mean, if we do get some wins, he might return next year. So maybe we get some wins on the belt. Maybe it does turn him around, and maybe he'll change my mind about him. But if not, I don't see the Bengals firing him this season. It would have to probably be something in the offseason that we would have to talk about. Interception, Kentucky. Okay. Is it still 7-0, that UK game? I don't know why. I can't find the SEC channel. I have like 8 games on here, but I can't find the SEC channel. Does anybody know what the channel would be on DirecTV? Oop, sorry for that. 6-11. Oop, found it. Never mind. Oh, what? I don't have it? That's crazy. How do I not have a Kentucky game? I literally live in northern Kentucky. That's a whole lot of BS. Not that I want to watch Kentucky, but how do I live in Kentucky but don't get the Kentucky game? This is why I don't watch a lot of college football. This is why I stick to the NFL and college basketball. Because, I mean, even if it was college basketball, I would have the Kentucky game because Kentucky's an all-basketball school, for those wondering. when you see your team put up 20-plus points every game, you should be enough to push to want to do it better. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why I said, as of right now, as long as Zach Taylor can, piece together a few wins, but kind of stay, keep the locker room positive, I don't see him getting fired. If Dan Quinn or Mike Zimmer is available, do we attempt to hire them as DC? We need coaching talent is there. Yeah, I think, no matter who it is, I think we have to weigh out our options this offseason. I don't think Mike Zimmer will we'll go from head coach to DC, but we'll have to see. You never know. So, yeah, I think we'll have to weigh our options this offseason because something has to change. If you guys haven't already, we've been live for over an hour. Please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Join the DC TV family. Follow the stream if you're on Facebook. The goal tomorrow is 1,500. That game day stream, we are getting this live sub count number to 1,500, which would be halfway to 2,000. Hashtag math. I want to hit 2K so bad. So the goal for this tomorrow is 1,500. I did drop my score prediction. I can go over that in a second with the Crow. It's on the SEC network. Yeah, I put it on, and I apparently don't even have it. So, yeah, let me go over my predictions for you, my man. So, man, Michigan would lay in the wood. Michigan State 14, Michigan 7. All right, so my player predictions: Burrow 250, 2 TDs. Bernard 1 receiving, 1 rushing touchdown. T. Higgins 75 yards, 2 TDs. JB 3 turnover, 2 sacks, 1 including Von Bell and Carl Lawson. Geno 2 tackles for loss. Score prediction 34-31. Did I not give it already? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. DC for DC. Hey, yo, we got to make that trend. Hashtag DC for DC. That's funny. That's funny. Maybe I didn't. I made them out. So 34-31, an overtime win for the Bengals tomorrow. 34-31 overtime win. We've had a lot of games go to the wire where it's either going to be a last-second field goal, a last-second touchdown, or in an overtime. So I think we could see another overtime game tomorrow. So 34-31 overtime win for the Bengals. Offense, no turnovers. Take care of the ball. Long drives, pass protection. Titans, D-line is one of the worst we've played so far this season. Our defense, tackle for loss. We need to get a couple of those. Hopefully 2 sacks, turnover for JB3. Play calling, play calling is number 1. We'll have to see how that turns out. Probably is going to be a wreck. Contain the run, put Von Bell in the box, and go from there. So, DC for DC. That's funny. That's really funny. So what are your guys' player predictions and score predictions? I haven't seen much of them. What are your guys' score and player predictions? Seven 3 Georgia. Do you think we can successfully build around Joe Burrow? I think out of all questions, this is the main question for the Bengals organization for the next 5 years plus. Can the Bengals build around Joe Burrow? I would hope so. I'm not going to say yes or no because I don't know. But boy, would I hope so. And if not, if the Bengals fail to build around Joe Burrow, I think the Bengals would lose a lot of fans. Personally, including me as well, probably. If they would fail to build around Joe Burrow, I don't know if I could be a Bengals fan for the future. But that's a big question outside of a lot of little questions. Joe Burrow will help build. I agree. Cincinnati Bengals win 38-30. I like it. Boyd breaks 100 yards. I'm hoping. I mean, there's no reason why he shouldn't. He's definitely on his way to another 1,000-yard season so far, which would be his third season in a row. I think it's going to be the score of the Buckeye game, 58-34. Holy crap. Yeah, I also hope Boyd breaks 100 yards. All right, so I guess what I'll do now, I'm going to get into some of the stats for the Titans so far this year. Because I haven't really taken a look. So they're first in the AFC South in their division. They're 5-1. Ryan Tannehill is pretty interesting. So 139 completions for 200 attempts. That's 68.5% completion percentage. He also is paired up with 1,600 yards. So that's on average 278 yards per game, which I think is pretty slept on. I mean, for Ryan Tannehill, 278. When you have Derrick Henry, it's hard to get a lot of love. 278's pretty good. 15 touchdowns, 2 picks. 15 touchdowns, 2 picks. Like I said, these guys don't turn the ball over. 15 touchdowns, 2 picks. That's insane. And then he's only been sacked 7 times on the season. That's pretty stinking good, man. We're 8 weeks into the season. He's been sacked 7 times. Okay, so a sack per game. So obviously Ryan Tannehill is having an unbelievable year. Derrick Henry, 143 attempts, 663 yards. So that's about 4.5 per carry. He hasn't been as big of a explosive big-time player this year as he's kind of been like a workhorse. He's definitely had those big plays. I think he had a 90-yard touchdown again this season and other good plays. But he's definitely, guys, defenses have been on alert and, packing the box when they go up against Derrick Henry. So he's been more of a workhorse this season. But, I mean, he's definitely going to get over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. So we're in week 8. He has 7 touchdowns. Can the Bengals hold him from getting 0 tomorrow? Would be pretty impressive. 7 touchdowns on the season. Receiving, I think their bright spot in the receiving core has to be A.J. Brown. 23 receptions, 330 yards through only 4 games. So through 4 games, he has 4 touchdowns. That's pretty impressive too. So, he hasn't played the whole entire season, but when he's healthy, a touchdown per game and that's over 100 yards. Yeah, 83 yards per game as well. So pretty impressive for A.J. Brown. Jonnu Smith, their tight end, who I'm going to assume is probably going to have a big game against us because we just can't stop tight ends this year. 20 receptions, 243 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So they'll probably be looking for Jonnu Smith in the end zone if I had to assume. Corey Davis, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns. Adam Humphries and a couple of other guys on that receiving core as well. Now for their defense, Jaron Brown, their linebacker, is leading them for tackles. He also has a pick, 6 pass deflections, and a forced fumble. So, man, he is having himself a season. Put some respect on his name for the game tomorrow. I say we allow 75 plus rushing, 175 plus passing. Okay. And the Buckeyes okay. Can you pair up the record of Burrow and Tannehill? I'm sorry, I'm not confused on what you're asking, but can you pair up the record of Burrow and Tannehill? Can you pair up the record? I'm sorry, I'm confused. For one of the first games for Clemson, they got over 70. That's crazy. Malcolm Butler, 41 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 picks, 6 pass deflections, or 7 pass deflections. So Malcolm Butler's having himself a year. Kenny Vaccaro, I don't know how to say his last name. I apologize. He's been a really good safety. So him and Jesse Bates is going to be a fun one to watch. 2 really good safeties. He has 38 tackles, 1 sack, 4 pass deflections. So it's going to be fun to watch him. They also have Kevin Byard or Bird. Why do they both their safeties have? Can someone correct me? Kevin Byard, Kevin Bird, their other safety. 32 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 3 pass deflections. So he's having a pretty good year as well. They obviously have Rashawn Evans, Harold Landry, Jeffrey Simmons, the defensive tackle, who we're going to see if he can step up or not. Jonathan Joseph, who I think was on the injury list. Christian Fulton, I think, was also on the injury list. Jadeveon Clowney played or practiced Friday, but he's been in and out with injuries as well. And then a couple other guys on that roster. But statistically, that's what you're looking at for the Titans. Now, one thing I want to do is review the Bengals stats. Because who doesn't like looking at the Bengals stats? If you guys are in here, please leave a like on the stream. I'd highly, highly, highly appreciate it. We got to at least get this stream to at least 30 likes. So please, if you're in here, hit that like button. Facebook or YouTube. All right, so let's get into some Bengals stats. Joe Burrow, 2,023 yards. Just doing the damn thing. 7 games played, 195 completions for 293 attempts. That's 66.6 completion percentage. Pretty darn good for a rookie quarterback. If I don't say so myself, he's averaging 306 yards per game. Boy, is that so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch. 9 touchdowns, 5 picks. We got to work on that. Obviously, he's a rookie quarterback, so we got to be throwing more touchdowns. He needs at least 20 touchdowns. You know, the picks, he has to lower a little bit, but the touchdowns have to go up. But, guys, he's a rookie quarterback with one of the worst offense lines in football. Rushing, Joe Mixon through 6 games, 119 attempts, 428 yards, 3 touchdowns. That would give him an average of 70 yards per game. When he's healthy, he's effective, but he has to be healthy. So he's gonna miss some time. So now then goes Giovanni Bernard, 25 attempts, 81 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and then he has the receiving touchdown. So we'll see Giovanni Bernard tomorrow. Guys, what are your stats for Giovanni Bernard tomorrow? What's your prediction for Giovanni Bernard tomorrow? How many picks do they have total? At least 4 or 5. At least. Okay, so receiving. Tyler Boyd is leading with 48 receptions. It's not even close. 48 receptions, 517 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's having himself a hell of a season, and he is on his way for his 3rd back-to-back 1K yard season. So next up is T. Higgins, 27 receptions, 410 yards, 3 touchdowns. Boy, is he having himself a season as well. A rookie season, already 400 yards. I mean, he should have 650, 750 plus, which is going to definitely more than I thought for his rookie season. A.J. Green, 29 receptions, but only 297 yards, 0 touchdowns. Look, we're through 7-8 weeks of the season, and A.J. Green has 0 touchdowns. Yes, I would like to see him retire a Bengal, but like I always say, at the right price. I don't want to overpay for a guy who is 6'4", technically a red zone threat receiver, and has 0 touchdowns through halfway through the season. Drew Sample, 19 receptions through 25 targets, so that's fairly impressive. 0 touchdowns, but Drew Sample, man, can we talk about him? I mean, he's really stepped up this past week or two, in the absence of C.J. Uzomah, who tore his Achilles. Prayers up, hopefully his recovery is going well for next season. But Drew Sample have stepped up, and he hasn't been fantastic, but he's made good little dink and dunk plays. We've had a couple of tight end screens. tight end dump passes where he turns up the field and makes a little play or two. So Drew Sample, having a good season. Giovanni Bernard out of the backfield, who is going to be a huge key factor in this game. Not so much the rushing game, most likely, but the receiving game. Can we get Giovanni Bernard in 8, halfback screens? Anytime Burrow's under pressure, dump it off to him. Giovanni can make a guy miss. So far he has 21 receptions for 174 yards. Mike Thomas, 13 receptions, 130 yards. CJ Uzama, he's out. Alden Tate, 4 receptions, 56 yards. John Ross. Everybody, John Ross, freak out. 2 receptions, 7 targets, 17 yards. So now that you know the receivers' stats, what are your guys' predictions for the receivers against the Titans? Who do you think will have the biggest game? Who do you think will have a touchdown as well? Heading on to the defensive side of the ball, can anybody guess who is our leading tackler? Can anybody guess our leading tackler? I'll give you 10 seconds. All right, if you guessed Von Bell, then you are correct. Von Bell, 53 tackles, a pass deflection, that's it. But, I think this week will have his best game as a Bengal yet so far in his career. He will at least have a tackle for loss or 2 and maybe even a sack. I definitely see him playing up in the box like he did in New Orleans. He wasn't so much a zone safety as much as he was, go put him in the box and get him some tackle for losses. So hopefully the defensive coordinator can get his stuff together and play him how he's supposed to be played. Next up, 46 total tackles, Jesse Bates. 1 tackle for loss, 1 pick, 8 pass deflections. The number 1 Pro Football Focus ranked safety in the entire NFL, Jesse Bates. Josh Bynes, 45 tackles, 1 sack, 2.5 tackle for losses. He's going to be a big factor. And if we bring him back this offseason, Jermaine Pratt, 38 total tackles, 2 tackle for losses, a pass deflection. Sam Hubbard only threw 5 games, 23 tackles, a sack, and 2 tackle for losses. Sam Hubbard, I'm pretty sure, is going to out again. I think he might be out for the season. So that's a big loss. William Jackson III, 22 tackles, 4 pass deflections, and an interception. We need him to step up this week for sure. So, yeah, Krause, you got it. DJ Reader, 19 tackles before his season got ended as well. That was a big blow for this team. And I think when I got asked that question earlier, like, what do we need to go more in this free agency, offense or defense? We got to think, we're going to get Trey Waynes back. We're going to get DJ Reader back. We're going to get Sam Hubbard back. 3 starting guys that are out right now, and possibly done for the season. We're going to get those guys back next season. So, I think offense probably going to be more of what I'm leading on, of what we have to be more aggressive for in the offseason. Let's see. Logan Wilson, 17 tackles and 2 interceptions with 2 pass deflection. Logan Wilson, the man, the myth, the legend, he will be the future at linebacker spot for a long time for the Cincinnati Bengals. I love what he brings to our defense. LaShawn Sims, 17 tackles, 3 pass deflections, and 1 pick. Man, he had that interception early in that Browns game and then got toasted the rest of the Browns game. But I don't blame him. I blame the coaching because our corners were put into very bad situations they shouldn't have even been put into. Man-on-man coverage late into that game. So don't get me into it. But Christian Covington, who's had to step up in the absence of Geno Atkins and DJ Reader, he's had 16 tackles, a tackle for loss, no sacks. He's got to get back there. Akeem Davis-Gather, our other backup linebacker, 12 total tackles, a half sack, and a pass deflection. I want to see Akeem Davis-Gathers having a big game this week. I think because we have to load the box, I want to see a lot of Akeem Davis-Gathers out there. So, and there's other guys, but I think I'm going to wrap it up there for defense. I'm going to be in the stream tomorrow, Drew, but I'll stay for the rest of this one. Are you going to be in the stream or are you not going to be? If you are, that's awesome. If not, I'll miss you, man. But the stream tomorrow, boy, it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one. All right, so last but not least, I'll go to the kicking stack. Randy Bullock has been money. Ever since he missed that kick, he has been money for the most part. I know he missed one last week. He's 89%. Look, you can look for his replacement. He's 100% on extra points, and he's 90% on field goals. So tell it how you want. I think he's been pretty decent. So I'm probably going to be wrapping this one up pretty soon. You know, we've been alive for over an hour and a half. I want to be able to enjoy my rest of my Halloween before I get to stream tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow at noon, we will be live for the entire game. Even if you don't come in for the entire game, come in, drop by, say WHODEY, leave a like, and get active in that chat because, boy, those chats on game day get crazy. So I appreciate you. I'll be in the stream. All right, Krause, I'll see you there. Hey, Stewart, have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great Halloween. Be safe. Have fun. And I'll see you tomorrow, my man. I'm sure you'll be there. If not, it's all right. See you in the next one. But, yeah, guys, I really appreciate every single one of you. We will get this to We'll get this to 1,500 tomorrow. That's the goal. Leave a like. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.